I think we are live. Welcome, welcome. One more Thursday. What day is it? Thursday that we have here. Thursday series of going live. While I'm here, just if you're watching live, throw it into the chat. Tell me where you're watching from. And while you're dropping that in, I was asking some stories in my stories again this week, as I do every week. And this week, I wanted to ask about your writing content, your bio for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for Instagram, and how you felt when it came to your old version of yourself versus your new version of yourself. And so it's really quite interesting to see how people responded to this question. So a few people said they felt like it was on point, but they're really interested to learn. Someone said that they really didn't think that they were living their future self at all, even though they had done some images with me in one of my workshops. One person said that they hadn't looked at their bio for weeks, months. So those are all the things that we are going to be talking about today. So what I see happen is we're working in our future self, right? We're not looking at our old version of ourselves. And we have a lot of I help statements, and they seem to get smaller and smaller the further out that I went, because people were really trying to see how they could describe themselves, right? And that's what we're really going to focus on today. So last Thursday, we did something pretty powerful. And if you haven't seen it, definitely go take a look on my Facebook, and I will also post in the link here. I have a whole series on YouTube where it is all the Thursday series right in there, so you can take a look at it. We audited your entire online presence. We did it in like 20 minutes, and we found every place the old version of you was still showing up visually, and that's how we looked at how to make some changes to that. So people went home, they updated their profile photos, they updated their website heroes, maybe they did their one rep, maybe they changed their email signature, and then they sat down to write a caption for something, and the old version came right back out again. And the bio says, I help people, maybe, considering, possibly, and the headline still, is like, ugh, not really sure. And the call of action still gives that person a really easy answer: no. And so the photos have now been updated. Amazing. So proud of you for that, but the words aren't. So today we are talking about the identity gap within the language. And we are going to be doing it right now. And I'm going to actually bring up some examples, and we're going to talk right through it. So for those who are new here and don't know who I am, thank you for coming into my world. My name is Lindsay Hack, and I am the founder of the Identity Hacker. I work at the intersection of AI and branding, but I help entrepreneurs and coaches close the gap between who they are becoming and who they want to show up online as. And this is basically session 6 of what I call my Thursday live series. And we are basically talking about all the different things to help you. And if you've been here since the beginning, you've watched us build it layer by layer by layer. Now, we found the gap, we've built our future self, we've built her images, and we've deployed them. So now words are ready to catch up. So let's get going. All right. So the language gap with your identity is something that I want you to kind of sit with today. Okay. So the audience reads 2 things when they find you. They see you, and then they read you. And right now, for most people in this room who have been following along because they've done all their work, they are looking at the words and they're thinking, the photos have said I've arrived, I've decided, I know exactly who I am and what I'm becoming. The words say, I'm still working on it. It's a little bit okay. I don't know. Maybe it's not good enough. Do I know? Am I good enough? Who am I? Right? The audience can feel that gap, even if they don't necessarily know exactly what that looks like for them. There's something that's in there. It's a tiny hesitation. It's something to do with that small moment where they think she should look like somebody I want to work with, but I don't know if I do based on what she's writing. And so they're not really sure. They're not sure if they can trust you. And that's not a content problem at all, right? That's not a strategy problem at all. That's an identity language problem. And there are 3 very specific locations to see this. So the language identity audit is, again, I love these audits because it gives you an opportunity to really look at your stuff. So we've done a visual consistency audit, right? That was last week. And I want you to do this right now on live if you can. So you're going to pull up your bio, okay? Your headline, your call to action, have them open right in front of you, because we're going to go through all 3. So location 1 is your bio. So right now, take a read. Read your bio out loud if you can. If you're driving, don't do this, please. If you're in the middle of somewhere public, it's up to you. I talk to myself all the time. So not the way you wrote it though, the way that a stranger would read it. Okay, go through all 3 of these lines, right? So here's the test. Does it sound like someone who has already arrived or someone who's still deciding if they're allowed to take up space? Okay, the sign is what we're looking for. So the old version starts with I help, then immediately qualifies with I help women entrepreneurs. Well, mostly women, maybe some men, a kind of that stuck, unsure, considering what they're looking for in their business. It's very lax words. Okay. Now, I'm not a wordsmith. I spell check everything. This is not what I'm talking about here, but they use words like passionate and journey and space. And I love words, but I don't think that certain words are going to do you justice when you're trying to become your future self. So you get buried in the actual expertise and all of those things, but you don't actually tell them much of anything. And I'm going to show you a few examples. So don't worry if you're like, Lindsay, I don't quite understand. So the future self bio is direct. It's specific. You're already there. There's no apology. There's no qualification. It's not, maybe it's a right fit. So I want you to ask yourself, which version does yours sound like right now? The older version or the future self version? And this is really, really important to know because as we're going through this, we're going to be talking a little bit more about this. All right. So number 2, your headline. I was just checking. I can't see the comments, so I'm hoping that whatever's going on, we can talk through. Number 2 is your headline. Your headline is the first line when somebody reads, if they land on your stuff, right? It's under your name on LinkedIn, your tagline on your website, your information on Facebook. It doesn't matter where. It's kind of that headline. Most headlines do 3 things immediately. They signal your old version of yourself. Okay, they're vague, helping you live your best life. Best life how? From who? What are we talking about, right? It doesn't say anything. They're very tool focused. Business coach, podcast host. That's not a job description, and it's definitely not an identity statement. It's more like a menu, and we aren't in the menu business. We're not in the restaurant business. So it's about other things and yourself, but what about what the person gets from you? And the future self headline is specific, decided, outcome focused. It tells the one line exactly what changes when they work with you and how it sounds like someone has done with you 1,000 times, right? It gives you that authority. All right. At number 3 location is your call to action. And again, remember, I'm going to show you examples of this. Your call to action is the thing that your audience is supposed to do, right? Book a call, take an assessment, join my group, right? Download the guide, whatever it is. And this is the old version of CTA. I think this might be right for you, or there may be interest in exploring this, or you've welcome to book a free call if it feels good, right? We're very wishy-washy in our conversations. It's not really a CTA anymore. It's an apology with a link, right? The future self version of you is confident. It assumes the right person will say yes. And if it doesn't over-explain, it doesn't over-qualify, it just says one thing: book your call. Join us at the AI Identity Lab. Grab your seat, right? There's no stopping. There's no fiddle-faddling around. There's no permission seeking. It's just direct ask. Okay, here's the fun part. I want you to pull up your own headline in your own bio, because I'm going to go through the ones that I had and somebody sent them to me and I worked with them. So let me give you some examples. So give me a second while I share my screen, because this is what the fun part is all about. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, sharing my screen. We're going to come here. So as you're looking at your own bio, there's definitely areas that I want you to look for. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be the original. This is, again, I mean, we're not going to give names and all of those stuff, but wellness and mindset coach, helping women find balance, confidence, and clarity. Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a wellness and mindset coach who is very passionate about helping women, mostly women, but really anyone who's feeling a little stuck and overwhelmed in their lives, maybe feel more balanced and start to feel better about themselves and their direction. I've been on my own journey for many years. I love supporting others who are going through a similar thing. And if this is right for you, feel free to reach out. Okay. We as women, especially, like to be nice. Don't get me wrong. I like to be nice. But in this actual bio, what she's doing is she's being really, really nice. So let's start off here. And it says, "Hi, I'm Sarah," which is fine at a dinner party. Okay. Hi, nice to meet you. But it's not great for a platform. We have very limited characters here. We want to make sure we're getting the exact information into it. And so I want you to look at that 30 seconds, that 12 seconds, that 400 milliseconds that we talked about the other week. This is how much time you get before somebody says, okay, no, keep moving forward. So using this is super, super important. So the next thing she says is she's really passionate. This phrase does zero work, nothing. Everyone says they're passionate. I mean, I am a passionate person. I know that. I talk that, but everybody says it. So it just makes her very invisible. And I don't want you to be invisible all along because your future self is raring to go. So then we move into here, which is helping women, mostly women, but really anyone. So that's not specific at all. Okay. And, how specific you get is up to you. Some coaches say get very specific, like 22-year-old women who are looking to, right? You can decide how you want to get specific, but you have to at least have somebody read that and say like, oh, that's me. That's who she's talking about. Okay. Then she talks about feeling a little stuck or overwhelmed. Okay. Little, that word actually shrinks the problem down to something that's almost not worth solving. So now you're trying to say to somebody, and somebody could take this really in a bad way, being like, well, what do you mean a little? I'm not little. This is not a little feeling. I'm feeling big and overwhelmed and all of these things. So watch your wording when you're talking about this, because it's really important for you to understand that A, it's a problem that she's having, and B, she's exhausted. She wants to get help. She doesn't want to be belittled and thinking that it's just a little problem. All right. And then the last one, I think this might be for you. Feel free to reach out. Okay. These escape routes in one sentence. Sorry, 3. That means basically I'm hiding. Oh, and I missed this one here. Sorry, guys. The maybe, right? Old version of her, almost apologetic. Right? Almost apologetic. We do not want to be apologetic. We want people to come and reach out to us if they are the right people. And so this is a part where you're looking at each of these places, and I want you to just dive into your own bio really, really specifically. So someone will say that this is not for me. The job is in the bio. It's not really appealing. So let's fix that. Okay. So here, double click. Here we go. So I work with established women entrepreneurs who are done being overlooked and ready to show up as the version of themselves they've already become. Through AI-powered visual identity and mindset work, I help them close the gap between who they are and how the world sees them. No more hiding behind outdated photos, vague messaging, and presence that doesn't match their level. If you're ready to be seen clearly, consistently, and as her, this is where you start. Okay, so she mentions specific person and the emotional state. Boom, super important. Identity forward language. We're not going back, right? We're not talking in old sense. Okay, she has a specific outcome. She names the enemy, right? No more hiding behind this. And then a clear invitation to a specific person who is ready for a specific thing. That is how we create and change our bio. Okay, so can you see the difference between the two, right? It's really important to understand that as we have the same woman, it's just a different version of her speaking. All right, let's do one more. So this one's Jennifer. She's done a beautiful job creating her bio. Her LinkedIn profile, her images. Okay. So I'm Jennifer, a certified business coach, podcast host, a mother of 3 based in Ontario, Canada. I've been in business for 7 years. I work with smart business owners and I want to grow their revenue. I offer one-on-one coaching, group program, and online course. I'm passionate about helping entrepreneurs build businesses they love. I believe everyone deserves to be their own boss. Book a free discovery call to learn more. Okay. I love how she's got the love, and it's in there, but there are some things that are going on here as well. Okay. This is great. So let's first talk here. So certified business coach, podcast host, and mom of 3 in Ontario, Canada. So I know what she is, but I don't know what she does for me. And remember, your audience is looking at this for them, not for you. I hate to tell you this in case you don't know this. They don't give a shit about you. They're looking to figure out if you can help them. And that's really, really important. Okay, the second part here is small business owners who want to grow their revenues. It's very vanilla, it's very polite, very professional, but it's completely invisible. So what is it that they want in here? What is it that your client, or your potential client, or your ideal client wants to grow more revenue? Do they want to make $50,000? Do they want to make $1 million? Remember, everybody comes with their own biases, but also keep in mind, if you say more revenue to one person, that's $1,000 a month more. They just want to cover their bills. To somebody else, that's $30,000 more, $100,000 more. So we need to really be specific. All right. This offer one-on-one coaching program, back to your bio, is not a menu. Okay. You do not need to list all the things that you have in your bio. If they want to go deeper and find those things, they absolutely can. So keep that in mind. Remember, this is prime real estate. We want to use this as your future self the best way that you can. And then book a free discovery call to learn more. Learn more about what? Be specific, right? Let us know what's going on with this. And again, this is all from love and from caring, because I want everybody to truly understand that they can create their future self in everything they post, every image they create, every, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever they have. We always want them thinking future forward. So here's the rewrite. After 7 years and hundreds of clients, I know exactly why smart, capable, and small business owners stay stuck at the same revenue ceiling year after year, and I know how to break it. I work with established entrepreneurs who are done with slow growth and ready to build the infrastructure, identity, and strategy that gets them to their next level. Not another program, not more motivation, the specific direct work that moves the number. Ready to find out what's actually in the way? Book a clarity call. Boom. She leads with the earned authority and the evidence. Okay. 7 years, hundreds of clients. She's been in business a long time. She's got the authority. The last bio did not suggest that. Okay. Specific frustration. They hit the same ceiling year after year. You say, oh, I'm going to make this much money. And then next year, you're only going to make this much money, right? Specific frustration. Identity language. She's not for beginners. She's for people who have already built their business and ready to go. She differentiates. She names it directly, and it's bold, right? She's bold. She's saying it's not another program. It's no more motivation here. And it assumes that you're already thinking, yes. And I love this. So it went from sounding from like a capable professional who might be right for you to sounding like the exact person you're looking for. So let me stop sharing my screen for a second here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So as we get through, whoops, did I lose you? Hold the phones. Dang, dang, dang. Okay. So as we are looking at those, I want you to take a look at your own bios, okay? Take that look at your own bios, look at what it's going to do, because what's going to happen when your photos and your words match each other? Holy shit. The hesitation completely disappears. That's when someone lands on your profile, sees the woman who's decided, and then reads what the words that they've decided, and there's no gap. There's no doubt that lives there at all. And when somebody lands there, and they don't pause, and they don't think something's off, and they don't think anything like this is weird, and they're not sure why, that is that person. And that's the truth and the trust that builds really fast. And that person will then reach out. Then when the inquiry comes in from someone they found you 3 minutes ago, right? So the idea is that the consistency is going to make you recognizable, okay? Not just visible, energetically there, and then the words and the everything bringing it together. Your touch point says the same things: the photos, the bios, the headlines, the CTA, the captions. The audience gets clear and complete signal, and that signal is them saying, I'm going to stop the scroll, I'm going to read some more if I need to, I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to do this. Okay, so as you know, I'm a big believer in one rep this week, right? Do one thing. So if you were here with me looking at your own bio, okay, pick that one language that does feel like it's the worst. And I say the worst, like it bothers you the most, right? Maybe it's the bio, maybe it's the headline, maybe it's the CTA. Rewrite it as her, the decision of that version of you, the one who's already here. And then once you're looking at that, you're going to look at which other areas you want to fix. Okay. So before I let you go, here's what I want you to walk away with today, because everything is about taking action, right? You could watch this and sit there and do nothing. And what does that give us? Nothing. So your words are either closing the gap or widening it. Okay. Every single time somebody reads your bio, your headline, your CTA, they're getting a signal, just like with your images, just like the last 5 sessions we've done over this series, right? Right now, for most of you, that signal isn't matching, right? Maybe it's the image still. Go back and watch, week 2. Maybe it's the words. That's what today is all about. So next week, we are going to be talking even deeper, because here is what we're going to do. So even with an updated photo and updated words, how do you sound like her consistently? And every post, every email, every caption, every time you get on a live or a call or whatever, even the days you're tired and you can't find the words and the old version of you is right there waiting to take over, right? So on May 7th, I'm going to be showing you a tool that makes sure that she's the one who shows up every single time. Live, Facebook, free, May 7th, 10:30 Eastern, just like it has been this entire series. So I'll put the link in the comments. I'm also going to put the playlist from YouTube. If you've missed any of these episodes, please catch yourself up, because each one of them layers upon layers upon layers. And I know that all of it makes sense when you put it together. And then on May 14th, I'm actually officially announcing today, I'm going to be doing the complete AI visual identity suite. And it's going to be done with you live. It's on Zoom together. And it's everything from this series together creating. So if you're like, Lindsay, I love all this, but I need more support. It's one session together. We go 1, 2, 3, step by step by step by step by step. It is a paid workshop, and I want you there if you're struggling. If you've been watching and working and taking action, amazing, you're doing great. If you're watching and thinking and wondering and not doing any action, and we're 6 weeks into this series and you still haven't done anything from session 1, you might want to join this workshop. Okay, so we're going to do website hero, library for our socials. We're going to do funnel photos. We're going to do vision board. We're going to email signature. We're going to do the whole thing, how to talk like her, how to show up like her. And so that's going to be on May 14th. That is a paid workshop. But next week, join me again, May 7th, same time, 10:30 Eastern, and we are going to work with the tool so we can consistently show up. That's what the visibility gain is all about. That's what our game of getting online, consistently showing up, being her. Because I'll tell you right now, there are too many women out there who are so good at what they do and nobody knows it. They're not being found. They're not being called. They're not being talked about. They're not being hired. They're not being paid for these incredible, incredible skills and expertise you have. And this is how we fix that. We want the world to know. And that future you is ready to talk and see and be and become. So anyways, one rep this week, guys. See you next Thursday. Have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll speak real soon. Bye.